Welcome to my podcast, guys. If you are here to work on your relationship with your child, then you are for sure in the right space, because you will always have to work on your relationship with yourself. And this is what I offer here on my podcast. So if you listen to my podcast and hear things that are not obviously related to your son, listen on, because whatever you improve in your relationship with yourself will automatically improve all of your relationships, including with your son. So welcome and enjoy. Good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time it is. It's good morning for me. So good morning to all of you guys. How are you all doing? I was walking again, and I really like to go for walks before recording these, because it helps me come to the truth of what it is I want to say to you all. And this one today was so hard for me to come to, because there's a lot of shame built into it, and I do want to expose it, because I think it's a shared belief that we all have that makes us feel terrible about ourselves. So I'm going to talk about it, and the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's something that we put a condition on ourselves to then be okay with ourselves, or to love ourselves. And if we do that to ourselves, then oh my goodness, then we will do that to our son, to our daughter, to whoever, right? And for me, I would like to not do that. Like, my kids are little now, right? It's ages 5 to 9, but when they grow up, or when they're older and are choosing their careers and jobs and doing whatever, I would like to show up in a way that is unconditional, and if whatever they choose, I want to be happy about it. I don't want to push my agenda, and I want to support them in whatever they choose, right? But, so whatever came up for me yesterday is for sure something that will affect my relationship with them. So yesterday I had a day, and what I would call that is maybe like a day off, like let's say a day off of like work, doing things, and I had a day kind of like of self-care, right? I had a workout, I had tennis, I took a power nap. I didn't really do anything when the kids were in school. But, I did the morning routine with them. I did the breakfast and prepared lunches and drove them to school and did the rest after, right? Like, so really, if you would look at it as a mom job, yes, I had a full day of mom work. But if I didn't, basically, I was doing this to take care of myself. I did that because I felt like I needed a day to lay low, to recharge. And what came up for me was my brain kept telling me, oh my God, you didn't do anything today. Like, how can you enjoy yourself? And it kept on repeat, like that thought. And I noticed it, right? And I'm like, oh my God, right? And my reaction was to feel ashamed of myself. Like, holy crap, I haven't accomplished anything today. I haven't shown anything today for myself. I haven't contributed. I haven't produced. I haven't done enough. And so there was this feeling of not good enough, right? Very extreme. And it was really tied into doing stuff. What have you done today? What have you created? What have you achieved? What have you done, right? Not like, it's not like, are you being happy today? No, right? We're not conditioned to think like that ever. We're not. That's why the Buddhists always say, we're always doing, and we're not being. And so because I was being a lot and I was taking care of myself, my brain alarm was going off hard, and I noticed it. So, which is a huge step. Usually, right, we are caught up in, oh my gosh, I need to do, and then we do, right? And so, and you know what? When we do, that does feel better. And it feels better because we feel a relief from that not good enough feeling. And we feel like, okay, we feel a little bit better. We're like, yes, I accomplished something, right? And I must admit, I know for sure it feels good. And I asked myself this question, like, well, what's wrong with that, right? We can just keep doing that. And I know for a fact that the difference between that feeling good and the feeling good when you don't have that condition on yourself to do is huge. It feels amazingly freeing. It feels like the happiest you've ever been when you get into that space of unconditional love for yourself and you don't try to do, right? And you are just flying, like feels like you have wings. You feel so happy, you're in a good mood, you're joking around, like people want to be around you, you're just radiating that happiness, right? That is what it feels like to not have that condition on yourself to produce, to do, to be effective, to blah, blah, blah. And so, of course, that is a big difference from feeling good when you're achieving stuff. Because when we're achieving stuff and doing stuff, yes, that feels good. And it's kind of satisfactory, right? Feeling of achievement. But if you are anything like me and you're like, if you're very paying attention to how you feel, that will feel like, I guess a little bit scared, right? Like you're a little bit cautious. You're feeling good, but you know any wrong step the wrong way, you are going to feel bad. Oh, I didn't do this enough. I didn't do this good enough. I didn't do this long enough. And you feel terrible, right? Because you have that condition to do, to produce. And so that's why the conditional love doesn't feel good, right? Because it's conditional. As long as you're meeting that condition, you're safe, right? It's almost like if you've ever been in a relationship where you are walking on eggshells with that other person, and if you do something wrong, they're going to be upset with you. You're not really enjoying yourself, right? You're like, whew, oh my gosh, thank God I did this right. So they were happy with me. And then you're like afraid of the next thing. Okay, I better do this right. Oh, good thing I did that right. Oh, good. Like pass that one, right? That is how it feels like with yourself, if you have that condition on yourself to be a doer, to produce and do as much as possible, right? Again, like, and then the other thing that came up for me, because I noticed this first thought, I said that I was thinking, oh my gosh, you didn't do anything today. It was like in such a horrific tone, like, what? Don't let anybody find out. That is so horrible. Like the most shameful thing, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute. I see you thought like would like to not have that condition on me. I'm whole, complete, and amazing just as I am. I don't need to do, produce just so I can feel good about myself. I can feel good about myself no matter what I do. And you get like, I'll still do things, but calm the fuck down. And then the comforting thought, the answer came as well. It was like, well, it's okay. It's okay that I didn't do anything because I took care of myself so that I can take care of my children. And that was another alarm went off. Natalia, why is it okay for you to take care of yourself so that you can take care of your children? For the longest time, I believed that was the most amazing thing I could think. And now that is another condition that I see that I'm putting myself like, it's not okay to take care of myself just to take care of myself. No, I have to do it for the best of my children, like so that I can show up for my children. You see how sneaky it can be? It sounds so like benevolent. It sounds so saintly. Like, yeah, I'm such an amazing mom. I'm taking care of myself so that I can take care of my children. And it did serve me for a very long time because I took care of myself, right? But now, because one of my coaches exposed that for me, I really see that as there's another level to it. Like, I'm going to take care of myself because I love myself. That's it. Because I want to love myself more, because I want to take care of myself. And not because of any other reason. And not because so I can take care of other people. Like, if we get to that place and not feel guilty about it, right? Like, even as I'm saying it, right, it's a stretch, right? It's like, whoa, I am good enough just as I am. And I deserve to take care of myself for no other reason, just because I am. That is crazy. It's cool. Sounds amazing. But like, holy moly, that's like a guilty pleasure. Like, there's like, it seems like I need a justifiable reason. I need a reason, right? Like, oh my gosh, I work hard enough, right? I'm going to take a day off. Oh, I'm so tired as a mom. I'm going to take a day off, right? We always justify the taking time off for ourselves. And I would like to get to this place where I don't justify it, where this is just who I am, and this is just what I do for myself because I am so worthy of that care. So those are the two conditions that I found yesterday that I was kind of putting on myself is I must do things to show for myself. Otherwise, who am I? And I'm not worth anything. Like, what have I done? Like, I'm told I should be ashamed of myself. Like, and the other one is, I can take care of myself only if it's so that I can take care of my children. So if we flip them around, how can we say it in a way that states it like how we want to be? So I am worthy and I don't need to do to feel good about myself. And the other one is I can take care of myself just because I want to take care of myself, right? So I always I thought about that for how that would show up for me and my sons in the future. Like if my son is not working, I for sure, if I have that condition, like if he's a grown-up man and not working, I for sure will be kind of judging him, right? Be like, you must do. You must at least apply. You must go for interviews, blah, 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 right? You need to be doing something with your life. If I have that condition on myself to do. And here's a tricky moment, right? That is all fine if I do that. But if I withdraw love for him, then that is something I don't want to do, right? I can always support him and want him to get a job and to be doing stuff productive with his life. But as long as it's not costing me feeling love for him, all right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like now when, let's say my son doesn't do the dishes, put the dishes in the dishwasher. I can, ask him to put the dishes in the dishwasher. But if I'm getting angry about it, then that is something I don't want to be doing, right? So if I make it conditional love, then I'm like, he must put the dishes in the dishwasher. Otherwise, I don't love him in that moment, right? Generally, of course, I love him. But like if I withdraw my love from him because he doesn't do this one thing, that is something I don't want to create from me and my relationship with him. Right? So there's a difference, right? I can always ask him, how's it going? Like, can you please put the dishes in the dishwasher? Can you, how's it going with the job search, right? I can always be kind of still interested in that and still want that for him. But not put my love dependent on whether he does it or not, right? Same thing for me, right? I can do things in the day, and I can still request of myself to do certain things, but as long as I'm not putting love as a condition on that, right? As long as I'm like, well, if you didn't do that, then you're a piece of shit. Then I don't want to do that, right? I can be like, I love you no matter what, and I love you even if you didn't do this, right? This is what the ultimate goal for me is, and I hope you can see the difference, right? If you don't, I would love to talk to you more about that, just to make sure we're clear about that, because ultimately what we always want is to feel love and to be connected to that other person, right? So whatever obstacles are in the way, which are the conditions that we put on ourselves and them, that's what we can get kind of out of the way, right? So because we cannot control what other people do, right? So we can't control them getting a job. We can't control them putting dishes in the dishwasher. We can't control what they do, and the more grown up they are, the more obvious that truth becomes. So I am, by kind of practicing taking these conditions off of myself, I am already practicing, and I have confidence that I will be able to do that with my sons when the time comes, when they're older, when they are making choices that I have no say in, right? Right now, I kind of have a lot of say in what they do, so it may seem to me that I have control, but really, I don't, right? All right, my friends. So notice how you feel when you're do, and notice how you feel when you don't do or don't do enough or don't do perfectly enough. If you feel bad about yourself, that might be because it is a conditional love that you have for yourself. I will only feel really good about myself if I do enough of this, if I do this perfectly enough, or if I do on nonstop, right? Notice that. It's not necessary. You can still do without having that condition, right? Just feeling full of love for yourself no matter what. All right, my friends. Well, I love sharing my journey here with you of my own self-love and how I am applying that with my own children. Would love to meet you and talk to you and answer all your questions and help you. Most of all, I would love to help you love your son more and yourself. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week. Bye.